This is Dean, and I have a question for you today. And my question in this devotional from Genesis chapter 9 is my question is, do you keep your promises? Well, I don't know if you keep your promises or not. The one thing I know, God keeps his promises. This chapter talks about God's promises and talks about how God, um, what did he do to Noah after the flood? God blessed Noah and his sons. And he says in his word that God blessed Noah and that all the animals from this day forward would always be subject to Noah and be there for food and provide for Noah and his family. Some people today think animals are the same level as people, and they're absolutely not. God's given you and I, humanity, men and women, a unique place in his eyes above the animals. They are subject to us. They are not equal to us. And listen, I love animals. I've got an awesome pet named Coco, a dog, and I love animals. I love horses and cows and birds, but they're not equal to us. That we are far superior to animals, and because God made it that way, not because I think, or it's not my opinion, but God declares that and says that in His Word. But it says this. God also talks about that after the flood, God made a new covenant, and a covenant is a fancy word which means a promise. Is like a legal contract. And he made a covenant promise to never destroy the earth with water again. And he sent a sign. Do you remember what the sign was that would be a reminder for forever of this promise? Well, you're probably right. You probably said it. It's actually the rainbow, and the rainbow is a sign, not just one time, but every time we see a rainbow, the Bible says that it will be a constant reminder of God's promise to humanity that He would never flood the earth again. And then this chapter talks about Noah and talks about his sons. And so Noah, he goes out to a vineyard, he drinks, he gets drunk. Then he comes back to his home and he basically lays in his tent naked. And two of his sons responds the right way. They see his father and they respond by wanting to cover him and protect him, and just to again, they see he's drunk, but I love their response. Their response is to help. However, the other son, Ham, is really there, really to do nothing and to help his father, but maybe laugh at him or tell Noah's grandson what happened. And so what happened was that Noah basically woke up and cursed Ham and his son Canaan, and said that Canaan would forever be cursed because of their lack of Ham and Canaan's lack of responding and helping him when he was in a time of need. So a couple of things about this application from Genesis chapter 9. First of all, God keeps his promise. He promises he will never forget his promises. And listen, I'm sure people have broken their promises to you or have forgotten their promises that they made to you, but God will never forget. And that blessings are a result of obedience. Remember, God blessed Noah. Why did God bless Noah? Was because Noah did everything right? No, even though he was a righteous man, I'm sure he didn't do everything right. God blessed Noah because he was obedient and followed God. So I put here in my notes too. What signs around you do you see around you that remind you of God's faithfulness? Obviously, you look at the rainbow, remind of God's faithfulness. Maybe you look at your kids and your spouse, your husband, your wife, and you're just reminded of God's faithfulness. You're going to go to work today or school today, and it's going to remind you of God's faithfulness there. And then the last thing I put here is that when we see someone in need, we need to respond and help them. No, don't just look at them and laugh at them. When we see someone that's broken and hurting and in distress, just in sin or whatever it might be, we need to be there to help them out of that, to to respond to them with compassion, not out of judgment, um, not out of laughter, but out of compassion to help those people that are hurting around us. And here's my prayer today, that we would remember God, His promises, and obey Him, and that we will do the right thing, help those people when we see that they have a need. So, anyway, I pray that blesses you today. I hope you have a great day. remember that you matter to me, but more importantly, you matter to God. God bless you, and we will see you soon.